Is Tom me? In like a previous loop?
I was here. I needed to write the ending. I only had one chance to get this right. I needed an ending that took everything already in return and extended it into a conclusion that would save us. Only the perfect ending would work.
You can do it, Alan.
Return's ending was an eternal deer fest that would keep spreading. Given time, Scratch would plunge the world into his nightmare. I had to stop that from happening. I had to write one more chapter for Return. A perfect ending that would save us all. I was the only one who could write it. Everything depended on this. On me.
How do you make this
Any
a final
second now,
level?
Scratch would burst through that door to stop me. Every plot thread dangled in my brain. It suddenly felt impossible. Something stirred in the room, coming to me. An idea.
It's an echo. It's over here.
There are only victims and no monsters. The ending has to fit the genre if it's going to work.
I think that's Alan from the first game.
The ending has to fit the genre if it's going to work. In a horror story, there's only victims and monsters. If there is a hero, they will ultimately pay a heavy price.
I won't let the horror story take Logan and Casey. They were dragged into this. They need to survive. Non-negotiable.
Not just them. We need to try to save everyone.
The ending will have to be dark no matter what. The more people we save, the greater the cost. And the hero must pay the price.
The scales always need to balance.
Doesn't look good for Alan, does it? The dark horror ending. To save them all, the hero must pay the price. You see what I mean by the VHS? With the two circles, and then the way the pillars are lit up on the left and the right actually just frames it into pretty much a perfect VHS sort of shape. I don't know if that's purpose, but it probably is. Or it looks like a robot face, whichever you want it to be.
Something felt different. I'd never seen myself in a vision before, but it fit. Saga and I were both at the center of this story. She was now my co-author. This was the beginning of the end. We were characters in a horror story, charging blindly towards the finale. We still didn't have everything we needed. This would not work without the clicker.
Oh. Bow, bow. I don't trust this game to save at appropriate times. Otherwise we'll probably end the episode here, if I can save it. No!
What's going on? Am I in the field office? No. It's the mine place.
Okay, let's check out the case board.
My work. It's all gone. What the hell is happening?
The TV will save us.
Nothing's working. I can't think straight.
Radio will save us. Profiling something will save us.
I can't sense anyone. Where is everything?
Saga, I'm out of ideas, girl. I don't know what else to tell you. Where's my posters for Bayasetta? They're gone. They took the most important thing. Oh, hello.
I can't leave. Why can't I leave? The dark presence took over Casey, stole the clicker from me. The last thing I remember is him throwing me into Cauldron Lake. I'm in the dark place. I'm lost. I don't know how to get out. I don't know what to do. That wasn't me. Was it?
I feel like this is her... Whoa.
What? Failed who?
Whoa.
What's happening to the case board?
Over Saga, I'm in the dark place. I'm lost. Skeleton film me. Don't scratch. I feel like this is... She's in the dark place, but she's retreated here as kind of like a coping mechanism, or like a survival mechanism, I guess. How do I leave find evidence? She failed them find evidence. Okay. Profiling. Of a Saga.
The board says I failed them. Who's them?
I let everyone down. Logan, Casey, myself. This is my fault. My daughter is dead. My partner was taken over by a monster. I'm trapped in a dark place. Powerless.
I'm not powerless. What is happening here? This isn't me. Logan, I neglected my family for my job. I was too thrilled by the cases, the mysteries. I liked how dangerous the work was. And now that danger has destroyed my family. It killed my daughter. No. Casey. Casey depended on me, and I let him down. I wasn't watching his back. I got wrapped up chasing the wrong lead. He needed me. Now he's turned into a monster. He needed me.
Scratch took Casey, and it's my fucking fault.
It's your fault he got hurt. You were a terrible partner.
I'm a terrible mother.
Jesus
I
Christ.
let my daughter die. I'm a failure. This is what I deserve.
Okay, Other Saga. Go a little easier on yourself.
The story.
My life, my family is just part of a book.
Another white asshole deciding what I get to do, how I get to do it. He took my daughter from me.
I'll never be free of this story from him.
He used her.
Don't turn against Wake. It's what they want you to do.
She's not dead.
God damn it!
Logan is dead. Logan is dead. Logan is dead. Logan is dead. What the hell? They're getting darker each time.
No! I'm done with this. It just keeps coming back.
Jesus. You're the only one who accepts she's dead. Won't accept she's dead. What makes more sense? Everyone is wrong or you are. If you hadn't been at work, she'd still be alive. She died alone and scared, begging you for help, and you weren't there. As the water filled her lungs, she realised you weren't coming. Can you even still call yourself a mother after you let your only child die? You're blaming a horror story instead of yourself, you coward. Admit she's dead and you killed her, you killed her, you killed her.
Something's very fucking wrong here.
You never loved me.
Okay.
Casey was being corrupted and I did nothing.
Injury report. Subject Alec Casey. FBI. Description of injuries. Subject seems physically weakened with some confusion about whereabouts and events. Concussion. Similar symptoms to those becoming shaded individuals. Exposure to the shadow is suspected, not confirmed. You knew he was hurt. You knew the dark presence did something to him. You didn't care. You only pretended to care when it's convenient. And the second he became a liability, you let Scratch have him. That seems like a pretty harsh.
Scratch was Wake. How could I miss that?
Transcript of interview. Subject Alan Wake, suspected para-utilitarian. Yeah, she mentioned his dark presence before. There were so many hints. How did you miss this? Wake was Scratch. It was right under your nose. Wake was Scratch. Scratch was Wake. Scratch. Wake. Scratch.
There is no way out.
gonna figure this out over Saga. You, me, Saga, and other Saga. Wait, no. You, me, Saga. I don't. Shush. So what, I should actually just read it so I know what's going on. Watch this. Wake with scratch. Ah, this one.
This isn't.
Idiot. I ignored the fact it was... You should have never brought him to Cauldron Lake right to scratch. Well, he's probably not wrong. We're going to figure out this lovely, lovely caseboard.
I never should have trusted these.
Manuscript pages. Oh, Night Springs!
Night Springs. Logan and David love that show. Their weekly ritual.
I just want to watch an episode of Night Springs. That's all I've wanted all game.
This case. This room. Is any of it even real? Casey was hurt. I should have been watching his back.
I don't know what you were going to do against a freaking malevolent, dark presence ghost tornado. Casey was injured because I left him behind.
What?
You needed backup, you weren't there. This has all been hallucination. Shadow monsters, false realities, magical writers. Really? I took Logan away from her father.
It feels like I'm trapped in a nightmare. Stuck in an echo chamber with all my fears, my doubts, my insecurities.
I used manuscript pages as a crutch instead of doing my job.
What? No.
The pages were your excuse for always being one step behind.
I spent too much time away from Logan. Logan. The horror story used her.
I've had it with you cultist maniacs!
I never should have left Casey at the hotel by himself.
I don't think Casey would blame you, Saga. But, you know, she blames herself, and people do this. I think
The cult was just the beginning of the spiral.
people underrate how many insecurities. Like, Saga, right, married with a kid, attractive, successful, competent person, seemingly has their entire life together, right? And yet riddled by insecurities. It's an important lesson.
What the hell?
You fucked this case up so badly that the FBC took over. It's a bit harsh. Okay. So
I hate you.
oh. Broke for a second there. I keep swapping between controller and mouse. I'm not touching the mouse, so I don't really know why. I abandoned my partner to investigate on my own.
Come on.
You were so eager to be in charge, you left him behind. Logan's death broke something inside me. Well, that would track. Well, what? So I think that's part of the reason. Oh, maybe it's my. Right, I'm gonna move my mouse over there. Stay there. Logan was alone.
I hate this, but it's all true. I had tried to silence these thoughts. Focus on the case. But I can't escape them anymore. I'm drowning. I need a way out before I'm dragged under.
Talk to me over me.
No. There has to be a way out. I need a way out. Oh, God. None of this is real. I've lost it.
I'm not even here. The mind place isn't real. A case about supernatural darkness. I'm having a full-on psychotic break. I dragged Logan away to a tin can in Watery. She's dead because of me.
There has to be a way out.
It's like she's... The dark place is now convincing her this is all true, and that the case was invented as a way to escape the horrors of what she went through. She's finally giving in and believing the story. And I still don't know whether that's all true or not. To this day, I still have no idea whether Logan is alive or not, but I hope she is, so we're gonna keep going.
I need a way out.
It's over. There's no point trying.
Everything is lost. There's no way out. No way to fix this. There's no way out. I'm stuck here forever. Just me and my past. My guilt. My mistakes.
I'm not getting anywhere. I'm stuck. But this is my mind place. My mind. Everything I need is here. It has to be.
You can do it, Saga.
The lights.
No. No. I'm not giving up. Focus, Saga. The answers I need are here somewhere. I just have to look.
You can do it, Saga.
No. I'm not reading anymore.
Oh, okay.
My badge. Never should have taken this case.
Hey, Mom. I made you a charm bracelet for good luck. I made a matching one for me, so bring me back something cool from Washington.
There we go. That's a tie to what we think is reality, hopefully.
It was so obvious the Koskela brothers were behind the cult.
Who was it?
Scratch was too much for us. I should have made KC stay behind.
Yeah.
Stop blaming yourself, Anderson. A knife in the arm is just part of the job. If you're gonna keep fussing, you can get the hell out. Look, leave the whiskey.
We break through the darkness, a little bit of reality comes in, and then the light comes back into the room as well. You can't take my mind, goddammit.
I am honored by this award. Thank you. While our agency must continue to improve, the work we do here, protecting communities, pursuing the truth, it's the most important work there is.
A little bit lighter.
Hey!
Saga.
Just calling to say thanks for your note. Oh, sometimes I just get in my head too much. So, thanks for pulling me out.
Saga, there's a pumpkin.
You're really the best, Mom.
Saga, for what it's worth, I think it's important.
Okay. Talk soon.
Saga, shush. I think it's important that Logan grows up seeing you do what you love, not what you're great. Saga, for what it's worth, I think it's important that Logan grows up seeing you do what you love, what you're great at. That will teach us so much. There will be times just like this when you question your choices, your competence, even your sanity. When things get dark, just remember to trust and love yourself as much as your family does. You won't be perfect, but I know you'll be amazing. Love you always, Mom. Mom, jeans. As the song goes.
Anderson, look, after Miranda left, it was, well, I was in a bad place. You dragging me to those dinners at your house with your family, it really, meant a lot. Thank you.
Aw. That's cute.
I saw this online and it made me think of you. Okay, what are you doing? Don't make a big deal out of it, Mom. No hugs.
Cute. I remember I wrote a bit in my story about a alcoholic mother drinking herself to death using her world's best mum mug. It was a nice line, actually. I need to get back to that. Okay, I think that's everything in the room.
I'm not a perfect mom, but I'm doing my best.
Yeah.
Logan was just being nice when she gave me that mug.
Oh, fuck you,
I
Doubts.
deserved her.
Shit.
Casey trusts me.
Yeah.
I know he does.
I'll just let him down again.
This is kind of like Senua's Hellblade. A reassuring note from my mom. Yep, no, that one.
No. This is all real. I know it is. The FBI will kick me out. I'll have nothing.
God damn it!
Got a commendation, they can't kick me out. I have a certificate.
I can't let this place make me question myself. I know what I'm doing.
No idea what I'm doing.
It's not too late. I can still save them.
No matter what I do, someone will get hurt. I don't know what to do. I'm afraid.
I'm my own worst enemy. The fears in my head are stopping me from trying. From leaving.
God damn it!
We can do this, Saga. We can break through. I believe.
It's okay to be afraid. But I can't let this end here.
I can't. I just want it to stop.
Giving up won't make this stop. Logan needs me. Casey needs me.
I need me.
No!
I'm so close. The dark place wants me to hate myself. But I just need to get inside my own head.
I am leaving, as they say.
I've made mistakes. I'll make more. But I can do better. And I can start by leaving this room.
I'm afraid it will hurt. But nothing will hurt more than not trying to save them.
It will
Yeah.
hurt. But I will fight.
Other Saga's on board. Getting the heck out of here. In a second, apparently.
Shit!
The dark place tried to trap me here. The only way to leave is facing it head on. Wake called it a nightmare. I need to dive into that nightmare and find a way back home.
Case 1, closed. I am leaving. Ooh, weapon upgrade. That 9's not gonna be enough, is it?
My first ever prank on Casey. A true classic.
Salt instead of sugar. No, sugar instead of salt, I guess. I think what it actually was when you loosen the lid, so when they tilt the salt shaker, the lid comes off and they pour tons of salt in.
Saga, wake up.
Alice? Okay, this is interesting. Return 9, come home.
The payphone was ringing. Somehow I knew the call was for me.
Well, who else is it going to be for, to be fair? Very cool to see this like this. Oh my god, that looks so good! It reminds me of like, I don't know, like an apocalyptic weather film, you know? Like the aftermath in Armageddon or something. It's awesome. Or in a zombie film.
Hello?
It's me again. You need to go to the statue at Parliament Tower Plaza. To make your ending come true, you will need what's inside the shoebox there.
The ending? A shoebox? Who is this?
Is it the clicker? It's going to be the clicker, right? Also, I'm going to point out, we are going to get through this game with no Barry. Tim? Hey, Tim.
Agent Anderson. Is that really you? Sorry, this place likes to play tricks.
Sheriff Breaker? What happened to you? How did you end up in the dark place?
I was brought here. snatched away from the morgue by a man named Orland Dorr. Been trying to piece it together for... Well, it feels like a long time now.
Who is this Dorr person?
He's here. Somewhere. I've been seeing his face in my dreams for years. This whole thing is insane. But he is much more than he seems. He's connected to all of this.
I need to get to Parliament Tower Plaza. Do you have any idea where it is?
This place, it's like trying to find your way around in a dream. I've been trying to map it, but it keeps looping, shifting. Like there were many versions stacked on top of each other. There is a page. Describes Dorr finding his way through this place. I tried to follow the steps, but no luck.
Can I see that page, Tim?
Of course. In fact, it's the page I tried to give you back in the morgue in Bright Falls. Huh. Now that I think about it, maybe Dorr brought me here to keep you from reading it. Here. I'm gonna keep looking for Dorr.
Okay, buddy.
The closer I get, the closer I feel to waking up. I need to find the man behind the curtain.
Orland Dorr walked across the rain-slicked tiles of Caldera Street Plaza. He stopped at the door to the construction yard. A poster for his talk show hung there. He stepped through, willing it to take him to Parliament Tower Plaza.
I know what I need to do. The door to Parliament Tower Plaza was at the construction yard.
I understood what I had to do now. I knew how to write the ending to Departure. There is light and there is darkness. There's guilt and there's atonement. But the scales always need to balance. Everything has a price. There's a long journey through the night back to the light. It's not a lake. It's an ocean.
This is the first time I've seen a page about Orland Dorr. Who is he?
A door that stands between two rooms is in both. A door that can lead anywhere is everywhere. That door is the center. He governs the currents of reality.
With all the powers mixed up in this, it's hard to know who's playing who. Opening too many doors. This isn't important right now. I can look into it later.
Is he like the personification of the tears in reality? Or is he like, it's like Charon in a way, and like he like is the ferryman?
The page describes him moving through the door. How can I do that?
The dark place has many faces and many names. It is a mirror, reflecting all possible realities. The family of doors have the power to shift between these realities, here and elsewhere.
If I can find a way to navigate through this nightmare, maybe I can find a way to get back home.
Maybe it's just like how the Andersons are seers. The doors are reality shifters, I suppose. I'm sorry, what? Okay. Never trust a door in this game. What the heck? This is fine. Everything's fine. Hear the phone. Just go a little bit. We can get loot, so I just want to make sure I've got what I can get. It may not be only you out there. Please carry a portable light with you in the subway. You think you can play people's lives and kill them when you think it adds to the drama? You're in the story now, I'll make you suffer. As a teenager just starting to get interested in writing, Stephen King had been a source of inspiration to me. I thought about all the inanimate objects that had come to life in his books. No one is safe in a good horror story, certainly not the protagonist. That what makes them fun. This was anything but. The darkness could possess anything and it was getting closer. I'd never been this glad to see the sunrise. I had a couple of hours to get to the coal mine. That's from the first... That's from the first game. The children yearn for the mines. Surface entries. Use this gate. Okay, that all makes sense. Wait for agent. Stock me up, please. As much as you possibly can.
I need to get up to the street and find that statue.
Okay, the game is is very much stocking me up. Which is, you know, reassuring and terrifying in equal measure. Let me put this into quick slow.
You let me drown! You pushed me!
Enough already.
Shut up, doubts. I'm the master of my own reality.
There's the shoebox. The clicker.
Bullet
and
of
some
light.
kind of bullet. Shining with light. Oh. How did the clicker get here from Washington?
Gotta be careful about those. Saga is not immune to those in the way that Alan basically is. Fuck you guys. I'm out. I'm done. Don't know where I'm going though, so actually not that helpful. Right. Had to actually fight my way out.
Phone again.
Heal up. That was a lot of bullets used. I'll tell you one thing though. Got a lot of batteries. I think I've taken the scenic route here, to say the least. And this is definitely going to be a double episode. An hour and a half in now. But that's okay. It's nice sometimes to just... I like having my... You know, my episode intros and stuff like that. But in a way, it's nice to just sit here and play and not think about it, you know? And not have to play for hour blocks, specifically. I kind of get to immerse myself a little bit more.
Yes?
Hello. You don't know me, but you need to listen.
Hold on. How did you know the clicker would be there?
This is important. Alan's lost. He doesn't have the ending. He needs your help to finish the story.
How am I supposed to help him from here?
He's here too, Saga. We're all here.
Okay. I'm in the dark place. Wake is in Washington. I could talk to him in overlaps before. My mind place is more powerful than I ever knew. Alan. We need to talk about the ending.
Saga, what is this?
My mind place. I've reached out to you like this before. But I understand more about it now.
You see visions too. I used to think they were ideas, inspiration, but they're real. Just like this now. I try to use them to make the story come true.
So this is coming from both of us. Maybe that's how we could communicate in the overlaps. We could use this to stop Scratch.
First, I need the ending.
So that's how Casey and Saga, etc., all got written into the story in the first place. Alan sees them in his mind, thinks it's just flashes of inspiration, but what he's actually seeing are real people out there in the world, and then he writes them into a story, uses an oop, does it in an or, and you know, those real people get dragged into the story that he was writing.
So there's a problem with the ending?
I don't have the ending. It has to be perfect, but I don't have time to figure it out. I don't know what to do. Fuck. I'm so sorry. This whole thing is a fucking mess.
I agree. But we can still figure this out. And what exactly does perfect mean?
The elements of the ending need to come from the story's pre-existing parts. To make matters worse, this is a horror story.
You don't need to tell me this is a horror story.
Right. The ending has to fit the genre if it's going to work. In a horror story, there are only victims and monsters.
There must be a way to bring a hero into the story.
If there is a hero, they will ultimately pay a heavy price.
So the ending has to be earned, set up by the story. You can't build a case without supporting evidence.
That's the only way to make it stick.
I can't let the horror story take Logan and Casey. They were dragged into this. They need to survive. Non-negotiable.
Not just them. We need to try to save everyone. I have an idea how to help Casey. He's a real person who I twisted into a character. He isn't my creation, so he isn't a suitable host for the Dark Presence. I can write that into the ending to drive that fucking thing out of him.
Well, if the ending has to fit the story, this is how I see it. Return is a story about a story that comes true. And I'm a character in the story.
Not just a character. The hero.
Okay, a hero. In any case, I've been through hell to be here. And this is my life. It feels earned to me that I rise above the story and be there to create the ending.
Yes. That's what we're doing. Here, now. We're figuring out the ending I need to write.
This isn't Scratch's ending. But this isn't your ending either. This is our ending. You aren't the only one deciding these things anymore.
You're right. I can't do this alone. Every time I write, things only get worse.
You beat this thing back in 2010, Alan. And here you are doing the same again. You're a hero too. We're in this together.
Then let's bring it home.
The ending will have to be dark, no matter what. The more people we save, the greater the cost. And the hero must pay the price.
One of the heroes. The scales always need to balance. Fuck it. Let's go with this.
Are you sure?
There's no time for anything better. Scratch could be here any second.
Then that's our ending. I have the clicker. I'll find a way to get it to you.
And I'll get the pages down. See you on the other side.
That's a lot of people.
I need to retrace my steps back to Caldera Street Plaza. I arrived in the dark place through the fountain. Maybe I can leave that way too.
I can't help but feel the chances of Alan surviving are just going down and down with every conversation. But like I say, there's DLC coming. And well, Saga is now obviously a main character in her own right, absolutely. The game is still called Alan Wake. And I think having the DLC only feature Saga
is back through the subway.
would feel weird.
I have to hurry.
It'd be weird if Alan was gone, so I'm just very curious to see where this is going. That's not very nice. Ow. Oh, alright, goddamn! Oh, there's another one. Jesus Christ. was a bit brutal. Died. I so rarely die. I mean, I've been playing for like nearly 3 hours now. I'm frazzled. Frazzled. I was going to make the point. I didn't. So I appear less psychic now. But I was going to make the point that as the game continued, the game was likely to become less threatening. In a way. And it has. Do I have a flare? Do I flare? Oh, I've got a flashbang. Run a flashbang. As your character gets more depth and you get more used to things, things get less scary. But it's also because I feel like it's quite hard to write a horror ending that is horror full, right? Most horror endings are action endings, really, aren't they? Tell you what, that flashbang didn't do a goddamn thing. That was rough. I'm not dead, but that was rough. That was very, very rough. This way? Not sure why that was so rough. They weren't particularly difficult enemies, but whew. In we go. End of the road. Oh, hey, Saga.
Alan?
Saga, I finished it. The ending we talked about.
I have the clicker. And the bullet of light. Let's do this. I have to be the one to do it.
I feel like I've always been on this journey. Okay. It must end here. This darkness. What lies under the surface now shifts. A play of shadows catching my eye, thrusting my face into the water. He's here. It's shockingly cold. Past the mirror of the surface. And I will see.
Casey?
The end. Scratch! Now! A white, searing light of truth that for a flash pierces the shadows and reveals the hidden horror. And in that moment of silence, the whispered message finally heard.
Come on, you motherfucker! Come on! Come on!
What if there's nothing waiting to be revealed? The play of shadows fool us all, subterfuge to get our price of admission. Darkness not as a monster, but as emptiness. We're none the wiser. No answers, no truths. The hero turns to look inside. Is destroyed by what he sees, and is redeemed. Saga said we're both heroes. I'll pay that price. So will she. We are here to kill the monster. I pray nothing comes after this. Nothing but sleep. This is how we win. Is it too easy? What if this is still the dark place? Another dream to wake up from, always coming back to the beginning. The memory of what came before burned away by this terrible realization. Maybe it's a mercy, forgetting. To know nothing when we loop around, back to...
Is it over? Anderson?
As if you just did that. That's a proper. That's an Inception ending right there. So that can't be the end. Alice.
This part is just for you.
Oh, thanks.
After the haunting started, I got in touch with an organization that was still looking into what happened in Bright Falls. I went to their offices and something happened there. After I got home, I could suddenly remember everything. I remembered being trapped inside that lake. A dark ocean with echoes of myself. My fears, my photos. Inside a dark tide of madness. The same events and images looping again and again. And then I saw a light. Your light. You dove in just as I swam out. You never drowned. And you're still there reaching out. That is what the haunting is. I can see you because I've been there too. I chose to come back to the dark place. That is why I put on this exhibition. I had to mislead you so that I could get you to where you needed to be. The only way out of your loop is destruction or ascension. Light or dark. And we've covered the destruction part many times over. And we're getting to the ascension bit by bit. Time means nothing here. You'll still need to go through the loop. But I will keep showing you the images you need to see. The light you need to see. Until you're ready. Alan, I think we're getting close.
It's not a loop. It's a spiral.
Did I unlock any new cosmetics? Oh, I did. Oh, dear one. Nice. So I had this from the start. Digital Deluxe, which I already had equipped. The game's being weird. And had the windbreaker as well. I chose not to wear that because I think it looks weird. And then I had the celebrity suit. I didn't know I had a pre-order for the revolver skin. Oh, how do you use that? I don't know what the point of the shotgun skin was, but I did have the shotgun for like 99% of the game. And there's also the celebrity suit, which I chose not to wear as well. Okay. So... Okay, so there's... Right, so there's still mysteries that need to be uncovered. There's still room for the DLC, obviously. Wall in Door, for example, I think is... At least one of them is going to be a big thing. One of the DLCs is called Night Springs. And Wallin mentioned that he worked with Alan on Night Springs. So I suspect that's important. I could see one focused on Saga and one focused on Alan, maybe, because there's still stuff going on both sides. Saga and Casey appear to be alive. They were still in the dark place last we saw, but they probably got out. Because the ending has now come true of the story, right? But we don't know if Logan's alive. And they have to... Well, I suppose they don't have to tell us the answers to that. It's okay to have mysteries. Like I said, the ending of Inception did basically the exact same thing. And it was okay. Like, people always think they want, like, proper full-on closure. And I guess some people do. I've got a friend who I watch horror films with sometimes. And she is terrible for anything. Like, if anything is slightly up for debate or slightly mysterious, she hates the ending. I don't really have an issue with that. I think it's okay to leave some things up to mystery. So maybe we just never go back to Saga and Logan and that. I think we will. I think they'll probably get more nods. But Alice and Alan and Wallin clearly have a lot left in their story. Alan is alive again. Just further along in the loop or something. It's not a lake. It's an ocean. It's not a loop. It's a spiral. Which is important because in a loop, you just kind of go round and round and repeat the same events over and over again. In a spiral, you go round and round and repeat the same events again, inverted commas, but because you're spiraling inwards, getting closer to the end, things are changing, which is, you know, we talked about that before, like a lot of those loops we went through were very slightly different every single time, so that's why we had to just keep going through them to progress, even if they felt repetitive, because they weren't 100% repetitive, things were changing, we were moving through the spiral. So Alice never felt haunted by Wake. Never killed... I mean, I did find that a little confusing at the time, because he said Alice has killed herself, but she clearly jumped into Cauldron Lake, right? I think that was meant to be the implication. Well, yeah, it clearly was, because at the end, she says she chose to come back to the dark place, so she didn't kill herself, she just jumped into the lake, just like Alan did. And she realised... I think she went to the FBC, basically. Maybe that's part of the Alan Wake DLC for Control, which I really should play sometime. She goes back to the FBC. Maybe I'll install and play that. She goes to the FBC, and then leaves. She gets. I think she went to the FBC anyway. She leaves. She gets all this information back in her head. She sees what Alan did. That Alan sacrificed himself to try to save her. So she goes in to save him. Basically, I think she thought she was haunted. Maybe. Well, then it says, you know, she can see all these photos and stuff like that. She was pointing on the display. She had to set it up so that Alan thought he killed her, is the implication. Well, that's basically what she said, right? She wanted Alan to think that she killed himself. She killed herself because of him. Like, that had to happen. For some reason. He had to become Scratch. This is an ending I'll be thinking about for a long time. It's kind of funny ending the game on a... I thought I might have to use the magic bullet or something like that to do one final shot, but there's no real reason I would have to. On a gameplay perspective, the ending felt a little surprisingly low-key. You know, the epic fight on the coastline with the music, that was like a really good finale fight. Everything after that kind of felt like wrapping up the denouement, how the heck you say that word. Gameplay wise, you know, there wasn't like a big final boss really. Scratch was pretty easy. The bosses in the game are generally speaking pretty easy. The game could have done with maybe a little bit more variety in its gameplay, I would suggest. A little bit. A gimmick here or there. A lot of the questions I had about the game, I said at one point a few hours ago, I can't remember when it was now, I said at one point, am I meant to be as confused as I am? You know, am I meant to understand what's going on here? Or is it still, are we still waiting for pertinent information? And I feel like, with a few exceptions, most things became clearer in the last few hours. I feel like the game wrapped up moderately nicely. And I feel like you could end it there. I think, you know, okay, we don't have answers on Wall and Door. What's going on with Alan and Alice? We don't know if Logan is actually alive. There's a few iffy things there. Although it does suggest she's alive, and she always was, because... Why would she have her phone number otherwise? Would you keep your dead daughter's phone number? You might do. Maybe to hear like a voicemail. I know someone did that. Sounds kind of heartbreaking. Anyway, it's a really good game. I loved it. This is my game of the year, personally. My favourite game that I've played this year. And I've played some good games this year. There's been some great games this year. Tears of the Kingdom, which I feel bad about. But it was a great game. It's a fantastic game. It's probably third place for me. Baldur's Gate 3, which of course I didn't play here on the channel, but I have played about 50, 60 hours of it on my own, if not a bit more. I haven't actually finished it yet. I'm probably going to restart when the game's sort of patched up and fully finished and modded and stuff like that. But really enjoy Baldur's Gate 3. Probably takes second place for me. Starfield probably takes fourth. We played some really good indie games this year as well. I can't remember what they were. I need to clean my slippers. They've got bits in. It's annoying me. Let me have a little look, actually. Bear with me, folks. I'm trying to swap channel. I just want to see what else we played this year. Because we're near the end of the year now. We're not going to finish. Oh, Dredge. Dredge was great as well. I've actually played lots of really good games this year. There's not been too many games this year that I've been disappointed in. Dredge wouldn't be Game of the Year quality, but what else have we played? Let's just do some scrolling back. Got like 5 minutes to chat nonsense. Aliens Dark Descent was okay. It was pretty good. Obviously, I played Breath of the Wild. Jedi Survivor, meh. Didn't do it for me, really, in retrospect. It was alright. Dredge was great. Returnal was pretty great. I really liked Returnal. Slime Rancher 2 was decent. Disco Elysium we played this year as well. Also, it didn't come out this year, but we did play it this year. High Five Rush. Pushonomics, my beloved. That was this year, yeah. Pushonomics would be up there for me. I adore that game. Deeply. God of War Ragnarok, meh. Plague Tale Requiem was just about this year as well, so lots of good games this year. A couple more still to go, I think. But Alan Wake 2, my favourite of the year. Really, probably one of the best horror games in years. I think it could have done with, if I had to criticise, the inventory management is horrible. It really is disgusting. You need to be able to get rid of charms, and you need to be able to move inventory about easier. They need to like an auto-organize button, if not even on your main inventory, but in the shoebox. And being able to get rid of charms would be a big deal. What else? That's my major concern, honestly. I feel like the Saga portions of the game, which I enjoyed, but it's more rote, I would say. They could have done... The Alan Wake portion had all the weirdness in a lot of ways. There wasn't much of it in the Saga side. I would have liked to see a little bit more of that, but I get the point was to have that counteracting each other. You know, Alan's going for all this absolute madness in a dark place, where Saga is plonked down in a very real world. I really like the stuff with the cult and how that turned out to be. I'm not totally sure of how that worked, given that we did see cult members with Shadow taken at one point. I'm not sure what that was meant to represent. Might have just been a mistake. Anything else? A really good game. Game of the year. Really enjoyed it. Remedy, don't miss, really. There are 2 pieces of DLC coming that we know of. One's called Night Springs, one's called something else. No idea what, but of course we'll be playing both of those DLCs here on the channel. In terms of future content, whilst you're here then, I'll let you know. This has outlived Starfield, right? So we're probably already playing the Dredge DLC. I can't imagine that's going to take very long, so that might be over by now as well. To let you know my plans, so I've got 2 fully recorded playthroughs in reserve. That's Lies of P and Sea of Stars. Both very different games. There's a game that just come out called The Invincible, which is like it's like Firewatch in space, is how it's been described to me, and that is Firewatch is one of my all-time favourite games, so I'm really excited about that idea. It looks really good, so I'm going to play The Invincible. Well, Return to Tears of the Kingdom at some point, probably not for a little while yet, still, if I'm honest. There's a new Warhammer Age of Sigmar game coming out from Frontier, funnily enough, which looks okay. I might see how that reviews. We might dig into that. There's actually quite a few interesting games coming out still this year. Probably going to do some more short games. I want to play Return of the Obra Dinn. You might be seeing that already. That might be the next thing I record. I'm not sure how that's going to work at this point in time. But lots of ideas in the docket as per, and still lots of major things I want to do. I want to play all the Batman games. I want to play all the Resident Evil games. You know, there's a lot of those big plans, but anything that takes like hundreds of hours to do is on the back burner, to say the least. Either way, I hope you've really enjoyed this playthrough. I've really appreciated your comments and stuff throughout it. I think you folks were on episode 11 at this point in time, something like that, so not that long to go to catch up. And yeah, great game. Really excited for the DLC. Let me know what your thoughts are about the ending. I'll see you lovely folks very soon. Thanks for joining me. Cheers much as always. Bye-bye.